Once again, thank you for waiting. This meeting of Monroe Township Board of Education is called to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
stands one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty.
and justice for all. Thank you. Before I go any further, I'd just like to comment on what a wonderful experience it was to listen to the 4th and 5th grade percussion ensemble led by Mr. Snyder outside. I don't know if any of you had the chance to go and hear them, but they were really fantastic. So congratulations, Mr. Snyder, and all the boys and girls. Thank you. Mr. Gorski, we can have a roll call?
Yes. Ms. Arminio.
Here.
Mr. Braverman. Here. Ms. DeMayo.
Here.
Mr. Kaufman. Here. Mrs. Koloponowicz. Here. Mr. Nostine.
Here.
Mrs. Carino. Mr. Ryback.
Here.
Mr. Russo.
Here.
And Mr. Rutsky. Mr. Board President, you have a quorum present this evening. In accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law, the Monroe Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted April 22nd, 2016 at all schools, the Home News Tribune, the Cranberry Press, and filed with the clerk of the municipality.
Thank you. Now, board members, I'd like to go to the approval of minutes. Need a motion to approve the Public Board of Education meeting, May 16th, 2016.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Vote? I'm sorry.
May 16th, it's March 16th.
March 16th, I thought I said that. Okay, March 16th, 2016. Thank you, Mr. Koloponowicz. We can vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Motion passes. I need a motion to approve the closed session meeting of March 16th, 2016.
So moved.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? We could vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Motion passes. I notice our student board members are not present, so we'll be skipping that, their report. And we can move to the Teacher Educational Services Professional of the Year Award presentations. Dr. Kosak.
Well, good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure, it's an honor and a pleasure to recognize our 2016 Teachers of the Year and Educational Support Staff of the Year. We just were fortunate enough to celebrate their accomplishments right prior to this board meeting, and our students in the Culinary Arts program did a wonderful job of preparing and serving dinner tonight. And this is we would just like to formally invite each of the teachers and support staff to come up and receive a plaque, and on behalf of the Monroe Township Board of Education and the entire educational community, we would like to recognize them publicly. So first, we will start with Mr. Robert Burns. Please come on up from the high school. Okay, also from our high school, our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year, Kathy Ialpi. Yes. Sure, absolutely. Congratulations. Dr. Alvick. We would like to recognize from our middle school, Ms. Pauline Amobile. Again, from our middle school, our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year, Ms. Deborah Force. From Applegarth School, Ms. Michelle Fernari. Ms. Fernari unfortunately cannot be here tonight, but we do want to recognize her accomplishment, though. Thank you, Mr. Ventrella. Our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year from Applegarth School, Ms. Bonnie Essick. From Barclay Brook School, our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Adam Mertz. And our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year from Barclay Brook School, Ms. Karen Monty Hergert. From Brookside School, our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Jennifer Corvinus. And from Brookside School, our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year, Dr. Cynthia Steiger. Our Teacher of the Year from Mill Lake School, Ms. Karen Boreski. Come on for a picture. Take a picture. Yeah. Educational Support Staff Member of the Year from Mill Lake School, Ms. Mary Vina. Our Teacher of the Year from Oak Tree School, Ms. Cassidy Shea. Our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year from Oak Tree School, Ms. Michelle Delaney. Our Teacher of the Year from Woodland School, Ms. Allison North. Ms. North brings her own cheering squad from... And our Educational Support Staff Member of the Year from Woodland School, Jamie Newcomb. Jamie Newcomb. Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations once again to all teacher and educational support people of the year. Now we're up to committee reports. Any committee chair have a report for us? Nothing? Okay, seeing none, we can move to our first public forum. Oh, do we have a committee chair? Ms. Arminio, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll just read what the, so everybody gets. The following policies and regulations for first reading, and we have some of the second reading on here, right?
Yeah, one for the
One-
graduation
Okay.
requirement.
One for the second reading this evening is for graduation and the grading. So the next policies for next month are here for the first reading. I won't read those out, but the policy for graduation is on here as a second reading.
Any question for Ms. Arminio from board members? Okay, seeing none, we can move to the first public forum. This addresses the agenda. If anyone from the public is interested in coming up to make a comment or ask a question about the agenda, we ask you to step up to the microphone, give your name, address. You'll be limited to 3 minutes. Please direct your comments to me, as no board members will be able to answer you directly. Anyone from the public interested in stepping up and asking a question? Okay. We can move to our superintendent's report. Dr. Kosak.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I have a couple, normally we have our students here to announce a lot of our school events, and they're not here right now tonight, so, I don't have all the school events, but I know there are many, many school activities taking place, both academically and athletically throughout the district. And one of them, even tonight, our percussion ensemble, our 4th and 5th graders did an excellent job playing for everyone as they came into the board meeting. We're also very proud to announce that through the efforts of the Monroe Township High School Peace Ambassadors and the Monroe Township High School Gay Straight Alliance at the high school, that they were awarded the Anti-Defamation League's No Place for Hate Gold Star Award. And during the school year, this group submitted the pro-peace and anti-discrimination activities and programs that were coordinated and sponsored by the Peace Ambassadors to the GSA and the GSA to the ADL for approval. And the Anti-Defamation League created this program, the No Place for Hate, to reward and acknowledge schools that are actively working on creating peaceful and respectful schools. So congratulations to that group. The school performance reports that I shared with the Board of Education and I certainly shared with our leadership team at the school, they are out to the public. I believe they're coming out either this week or next week. And the school performance reports take a look at the school district at many different levels. Everything from student attendance to the ratio between students and teachers and students and administrators, to our budget, to our academic achievements, and a number of different areas. And this report is, although it's coming out in May of 2016, really speaks to the 14-15 school year, last school year. But the report does indicate that academically our students are doing very well in many different levels and mostly above the state average on any of the state test scores. It's our high school. We had a lot of students whose parents chose for them not to participate last year, so that's reflected in the report as well. But overall, I'm very proud to see how our students and our teachers have done for last year. And I'm sure that for this year, by the time the report comes out next year, it'd be nice to get it before May, an entire year later, but I think it'll also reflect the nice job that our students and staff and teachers are doing. You're going to give an update on the student growth advisory, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I don't have to touch on that. And that concludes the superintendent's report, Mr. President.
Okay, we can move to personnel. I need a motion to approve items A through Z.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Mr. Arminio, did you? Okay. Mr. Gorski, we can have a vote.
Roll call for personnel items A through Z. Ms. Arminio.
Yes.
Mr. Braverman.
Yes.
Ms. DeMayo.
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman.
Yes to all, recuse on W.
Recuse on W. Thank you. Mrs. Kolpanowicz.
Yes.
Mr. Nostine.
Yes.
Mr. Ryback.
Yes.
Mr. Russo.
Yes, and recuse on S.
Recuse on S as in Sam. Thank you. Mr. Board President, personnel items A through Z has passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gorski. Now we have board action. I'd like a motion to approve board action items A through M.
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Kalpanos? Oh, Mr. Mayo.
Yes. In response to graduation requirement P5460, I'm voting yes on this because I don't want to jeopardize any of our students not being able to graduate because we don't have a policy in place. But I believe that PARC as a graduation requirement is inappropriate and premature at this time. I had written a 3-page speech as to why. I had quotes and a lot of references, but I summed it up and I made it short for everybody. The College Board states if test scores are to be used to make accurate inferences about an examinee's ability, they must both be reliable and valid. Reliability is a prerequisite for validity and refers to the ability of a test to measure a particular trait or skill consistently. In order to measure a trait or skill consistently, you must have results. And you must see what those results are. We have 1 year of results for the park, and I don't believe that we can determine if the test questions are measuring a skill consistently. The independent research that evaluated the park evaluated the content and quality of the assessment and compared the content to other assessments. But since they don't have enough years of actual tests, we can't say that the park is measuring what it is intended to measure because we don't have student responses. As a result, and this is the reason why I believe it's premature and inappropriate at this time. Thank you.
Anyone else on the board? Ms. Koloponowicz.
This policy came up last month in our discussions, and I had some questions about it. And I asked Dr. Alvick, or maybe she, Dr. Alvick had mentioned that there are students that would not graduate high school if this policy was not in place with Park.
There was the possibility of that. I didn't have the specific data. When I went back and I checked our current list of seniors, it does not affect our current seniors. There is no senior this year that is graduating solely by meeting the Park as their graduation assessment requirement.
Okay.
Because there's a menu of assessments, and students have to pass one in math and one in the language arts section. We have no students that would not graduate based on just the Park assessment in 11th grade.
Okay,
The portfolio is part of that, yes.
because I am reluctant to approve this policy, but I had said I'm not going to be the person to hold anybody back from graduating because of this policy. But I think it needs to be looked at in the future because I don't believe Park should be used as a graduation requirement. So I am reluctantly going to approve this.
Ms. Arminio.
President Ryback, could we ask Dr. Ryback to, we know that it's not going to be used in the next 2 years, and I think there's going to be things played out. Maybe Dr. Alvich, I'm sorry, could discuss when exactly the Park tests are going to be used for graduation, with your permission.
Sure.
Currently, the proposal that is at the state level is that it would be used for our current 7th graders, that our current 7th graders would have to pass the Park in high school in order to graduate. They haven't made it clear exactly what that means or what that looks like yet. Right now, it's just Park is just one of the menu of graduation assessments that students could pass to graduate.
So anyone above 7th grade as of 2016 is not going to necessarily need Park as a graduation requirement?
Correct. They could pass the SAT, the PSAT, the ACT, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer. What am I missing?
Yeah, I know, there's a lot.
There's a list. And ultimately, if they do not pass any of those assessments, then there's a portfolio appeals process that we would go through for those students.
But Park significantly is an issue for a lot of various reasons, and some controversial and some misunderstood perhaps. So I'm not making a judgment, I'm just making a statement. But did we have, I know one of the things that is very concerning to parents especially is instructional time. And I was at a training last night with the New Jersey School Board Association, and someone from another district said they lost 21 days of instruction because of the Park testing. Was that the case in our district? I'm talking about one school district person said that. If there's more than that, I'm not
Each
sure.
student took 8 units of the assessment, so it would have taken 8 units. So and the units were of different lengths. Some units were 75 minutes, some units were 90 minutes, some units were 110 minutes, depending on grade level. So it was 4 units in language arts and 4 units in math. So every student did have to take those assessments.
And what does that translate to in days?
Yeah, could I clarify that a little bit?
Yes, please.
So I understand what you're saying, and that is a concern in a lot of districts. But what Dr. Alpick is saying is each student has to take, it's a varying list, let's say 2 hours a day. So, whether 5 days, 6 days, 8 days of testing. Okay, 8 days of testing. But because, except in our high school, which we were able to knock that out in a week or a week and a couple days, we don't have a computer for every single student in the rest of the district. So we scheduled the testing throughout. And the state gives us a window of time, like a month, to administer the test. So, for instance, when I was walking through some of the schools, there might be one grade taking the test, but the other grade was not. So, during those 8 days, let's say the 4th and 5th grade were testing, and maybe the 3rd grade wasn't, or the 5th grade and the 4th grade wasn't, or maybe the 8th and 7th, but not the 6th. So the testing is spread out over a month's period, but not for any individual student.
Right, okay. Okay, thank you.
Can I ask something? I know at the high school level, we took 2 sample tests in addition to the regular park.
It was one additional ELA day across the district.
But there was 2 extra days.
No, it was 1 extra day.
Then why did we start late 2 extra days?
I don't know. But no, it should have been, it was always 7 units. 6 weeks before we started the park assessment, we received a
Okay.
letter from the state saying we were field testing language arts, which added 1 additional day to the
Okay.
language arts.
Regardless of the time, can we say no to that?
We could not. Although the letter did say that since we were field testing this year, that we would not be chosen to field test next year.
Okay.
Can I? Sure. Dr. Allen, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the purpose of the field testing, to my understanding, and I wasn't thrilled with the field testing because it just added more testing, but the purpose, to my understanding, is they want to be able to release test items, just like the SAT and other testing companies do. And in order to do that, they have to build up a bank of test questions. And the best way to do that, the same as the SAT's been doing this for years, they put field test questions in the test. So when you're taking one of these assessments, you may not know which ones are field tested or not, and they take the information from that to build their data bank. I believe that's correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Just to add some information, might be new, and Dr. Alva, correct me if I'm mistaken, I didn't get a chance to read everything, because there was a lot going on, and I just saw it on my computer. I got something in school board notes, which I know you're all familiar with, and it mentioned the lawsuit that the ACLU brought against, I think it was the state, about park, and I believe it was settled where the park is going to be used as one of the choice tests. But the big thing, I think, is the assessments, the portfolio assessments that we have now, and that the students will be able to have those assessments done not by the state, but by the school district, and they have until September. They could still go to graduation, march down to graduation, but they have till September to find out whether they passed that assessment or not.
All of our students who participated in the portfolio appeals assessment, which was only about 4 or 5 students, they have all completed that, and it's been submitted to the state.
Great.
So we've already concluded that.
And I have to say kudos to our district for being on top of that, because I know there's a lot of districts out there that are scrambling now to get this done, and because they were ill-prepared.
So I
Thank you,
assume,
Dr. Alec.
thank you. I assume there's still a lot of conversation and a lot of things that the state is going to have to deal with, because there's a lot of valid questions and concerns, and hopefully they will be dealing with this expeditiously, because I think we're all tired of this discourse that we're having back and forth on Park. We want to get something and get it right. I think we're ready to vote.
This roll call is for board action items A through M. Ms. Arminio.
Yes,
Mr. Braverman.
Yes on everything except policy number 5460, graduation.
And your vote is on that?
No.
No, thank you. Ms. DeMayo.
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman. Mrs. Koloponowicz.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Ryback?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Board President, motion passes.
Thank you. You might as well hold the mic because we're up to our business administrator's report.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Board President and members of the Monroe Township Board of Education, it is recommended that board action items A through L be approved by consent roll call.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? We can vote.
Ms. Arminio?
Yes.
Mr. Braverman?
Yes.
Ms. DeMayo?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman? Yes. Mrs. Koloponowicz?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Ryback?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Board President, board action items A through L passes. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Up to the board president's report. I'd like to start with mentioning that we had a Student Growth Advisory Committee meeting this week, and we had some very new information that we gave to the group concerning the court case, the court settlement on affordable housing. You know, I had mentioned, I think it was last meeting, that there was an article written in the Home News Tribune that, you know, as citizens in the state, we hear so much about the transportation fund, we hear about pension funds, we hear about Atlantic City, but nobody's talking about affordable housing. As a matter of fact, that's something that should have been dealt with for the past 16 years and hasn't. So it went to the courts, and the courts were working out settlements with not just Monroe, but all towns in New Jersey. Well, it turns out that, you know, not only do we have to deal with the past 16 years, but we have to also deal with the next 9. So we're talking about 25 years. If you looked at the settlement as it first was given to the town, could have had 11,625 new units. It's a combination of affordable and market value. It's and included in there is some senior as well. But the town was using all resources available to them, their engineers, their attorneys, credits that they had, and worked out a settlement with the courts. So it comes out, the thing that affects us concerning school children would be about 4,004 new homes that will be coming in within the next, I would say 20 years, and about 20 years, right? They might say 25. It's difficult to say because it depends when the developers are through building and when they get through all their permits. So if we said 20 years, it's pretty much on target. The problem that we have is that the state only lets us project out 5 years to look at enrollments and what we're going to be developing. So we had to get a new demographer report, which I think we're waiting on. We still didn't get that yet. So at the meeting, we explained everyone all of this, and basically we gave them some ideas of what we might be looking at. Mr. Gorski was good enough to do a whole report on trailers, because if we have to go to trailers instead of building a new school, it would not be very cost effective. And certainly, it's not like owning a home, it's just paying rent. And if the trailer would develop mold, which we had in the past, we, as a school district, may be liable to actually make any corrections to that mold.
Mr. President?
Yes, absolutely.
If it pleases you, I would be happy to post that report to the website
I think
so
that would be
that the
terrific.
members of the public can see what we've done over
The
there.
video and the presentation from the other night is on the website.
And Superintendent just reminded me that the video, the whole presentation is on Channel 28 also.
Yes,
and the
channel-
website.
and our website.
And the website. So that would be about what happened there. So when we get the demographer's report, we'll be scheduling a new meeting. We said to the group that, you know, we don't want to waste anybody's time. In order to be effective and develop any kind of an intelligent recommendation to this Board of Education on growth, we need the new demographic report. Once again, I just would like to say it was really a pleasure attending the teacher and educational support people recognition dinner. You know, all teachers are important to us, and all educational support people are important to us, and everyone that works in the school is important because it's a real team effort. But these people really excelled in what they were doing, and kudos to all of them, and it was just wonderful, and for the students that actually made the dinner and served it, it was fantastic, and it's a wonderful learning experience for all of them. I'm sure they'll be taking those skills on into the future with them. I just wanted to mention something about Park. I know I was looking online, and I saw that the grades for Park were posted, and at least for the high school, I know we had a report on this, but it's been posted. It wasn't what we would hope for, but I know we took corrective action, and I think we're all being more optimistic this time around, and I think that was important to do. Okay, we're ready for other Board of Education business. Mr. Notstein, Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple things. One thing is that this Saturday, I'm the appointed delegate to the New Jersey School Boards Association. The delegate convention is this Saturday. There are roughly 6 to 8 resolutions on the agenda for this Saturday. I would urge my fellow board members to go to the New Jersey School Board's website, access the delegate handbook from there, and take a look at those resolutions. If there's any thoughts, any ideas, any concerns, please let me know so that I can reflect that in my vote on Saturday. That's item one. I also would like to thank the students who prepared an unbelievable meal tonight. I also want to thank the presenters and also the Teacher of the Year award winners. It was a very, very moving afternoon. It's just great to see that enthusiasm, and it really, as a board member, it's inspiring because it really shows that that's the connection that our teachers have with the students, and it's really, really encouraging to see. So I just want to thank them for that too. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Notstein. Anyone else? Ms. Arminio.
I too was fortunate enough to attend this evening's dinner. I would like to thank all of the district teachers of the year, thank them for their good works all throughout the year, and it was my honor to meet with them this evening and enjoy their anecdotal speeches. It was very rewarding. Also, the students, which we're all here for, they do an extraordinary job. I think this is the second year in a row I've been able to attend, and they do a wonderful job preparing the food, serving it, presenting it. They're all very serious, and I thank them for their real professional work doing that. So the teachers who are advising these students, congratulations, but to the students, very, very good work, and it was delicious and professionally administered, so it was my pleasure. Another thing I'd like to point out, and I didn't do it before the vote, which I should have, in the last few months, we've been getting donations by businesses and individuals. If I may,
Absolutely.
can I talk about the donation of the weather station? Agenda item L, we accepted a weather station from Michael Phillips at an estimate value of $300 to $400. But the weather station, and I believe he was a former student in Monroe, so I want to thank him personally, and also all the businesses and any individuals have donated to the district. It's wonderful that people recognize the district and think of it when they come back and bring things. We've had ukuleles, we've had all kinds of things, and it really helps the students. So thanks, everybody, for that generosity. And
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, not seeing anyone else. We can move to our second public forum, where members of the public are invited up to speak on items or make comments not necessarily pertaining to the agenda, but once again, you have 3 minutes to do so, and I'd ask that you state your name and address. Anyone from the public? Yes?
Hi, my name is Taylor Walters, and I live at 31 Texas Road, and I am here to talk to you about passing a resolution for Park. In school, all of my friends are being lied to about Park being a graduation requirement and that their scores will be used for placement in high school. How is this possible if you don't get your scores until the middle of next year? Within the past few months, we have gone through the process of teachers picking classes for students and students picking electives. From what my teachers have told me, this has nothing to do with park. Also, I have had the opportunity to talk to some of my teachers this year, and they all have expressed their opinions to me about how they don't like park. Our conversations always end with, "You didn't hear this from me." In one class, my friend put a no park magnet on a teacher's desk. She told him to look at it, and he said, "Get that off my desk. I can get in a lot of trouble if someone saw that." After that, the teacher said, "It's a really cool magnet, and I wish I could put it on my desk." Another teacher said she was disappointed that only a small percent of our school refused. Teachers are being told to teach to the test, but they aren't allowed to look at it. Teachers should be able to speak up against something that's wrong as park without the fear of being fired. It is their right. During park, in all of my classes, I watched movies, 7 days straight of movies per grade. My teacher told my class that she was instructed not to grade any work during park. This resulted in her not giving any work and us watching more movies. Teachers even asked me what was the point of me coming to school because I refused. Also, there are substitute teachers in the hallway being paid to tell us to be quiet. Sometimes we even have to walk outside of the school because of testing. We cannot use any computers or the library during park. That's 4 weeks of no library or computer resources in the school. In my language arts class, we are doing a writing piece. My teacher said that she would usually have us research a topic of our choice, but because of park, we can't. It was extremely challenging to write about a topic I honestly don't care about. When I get my math homework, no one can help me. I asked 5 different adults yesterday about my homework. None of them understood the question because of the lack of explanation in my book. If this is hard for me, I can't imagine how hard it is for children who need extra help in school, like my dyslexic brother. He does not know how to type on a computer or use one at all. How is he supposed to pass park? My friend's sister was in tears because she was so nervous to take park, a 3rd grader, in tears because of a test. Park is unfair, unreliable, and unjust, and should not be considered for a graduation requirement. Please pass a fair resolution for the well-being of your students, teachers, and parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments and coming out on a school night to speak. Anyone else from the public? Yes.
Hi, my name is Zoe Walters. I live at 31 Texas Road. I'm here asking you to pass a resolution for park as a graduation requirement. The other day, one of my teachers told us that park is a graduation requirement for high school. I raised my hand and respectfully told her that she was wrong. She replied, "I know, but this is what I'm being told to say. Teachers are being told to lie to students. How am I supposed to trust the people that I look up to?" During park, my friend was so stressed out that she fainted in the middle of testing and had to go home. Also, the computers were not working during testing. This made many students and teachers stressed out. During park, I did not work at all. All I did was watch movies. In school, I found it hard to understand the material that we are learning. For example, in my math class, the teacher said that he would rather teach the easy way so that we could understand instead of the Common Core way. During testing, my teacher said she would like us to find extra resources from the library to further our understanding of the topic. But because of our current use of the library for testing, we could not find extra resources. I don't understand why park is necessary if it takes away resources that teachers need to teach with. Please pass a fair resolution that will help teachers teach and students learn.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Yes.
Hi, my name is Margie Charleston, 35A Haddon Road. I wasn't prepared to speak tonight, but I did just want to make a statement while I was listening to you talk about the short amount of time that it took to implement the park. From a parent's perspective, from a student's perspective, we know that that's not true. You have to take into account that maybe they're taking 8 periods to test, but that's done over several days. All of the classes are interrupted, everybody's schedules are interrupted, and there's also makeup periods. So while classes are going on, there's substitutes in those classes because teachers are being pulled to do makeups. So keep in mind that this tiny interruption is a colossal interruption. It affects the whole month. I mean, we as parents call it the second spring break. I think Disney, we're all going to be going there next year for us refusers because it is a huge interruption. Once park is over, we're into middle of May. The school year is winding down. So if essentially from spring break till, middle of May, there's no classes going on. So while you're thinking about passing a resolution, please keep in mind that it is a huge interruption to education. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Seeing no one, we can move to our closed session resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Township of Monroe hereby moves to go into closed session in accordance with the Sunshine Law, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, NJSA 10:4-6 through 10:4-21, to discuss the following subjects: harassment, intimidation, and bullying, personnel matters. I think this might be long, and I'm saying maybe 45 minutes. Okay. Do I have a second?
So moved.
In favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? We haven't.
Oh, opposed?
I'm opposed too.
Okay, we can go to closed session.
It's not just milk.
We're still in session. I know Mr. Russo wanted to make a correction, so we're going to throw that over to him. Hope you catch it.
I'll catch it. Let's make it simple. Okay, so for personal action, A through Z, I need to make a change on my vote. And I need to recuse myself from Y and, the Y and Z or X and Z? X, hold on a minute. No, wait a minute. It's
Mr. Russo's original vote
X and
was
Y.
affirmative on,
X and Y.
but now you're recusing on X and Y.
X, Y,
Wait for me to catch that.
and S.
X, Y, and S.
S was the original, S was the original one.
All right, let the record reflect that Mr. Russo's vote on personnel items A through Z is a yes with a
Recruit,
recusal on X, Y, and S.
S, Y, and X.
Yes, Mr. Calvin.
I also looked at the agenda, and I will see Mr. Russo's follow-up and recuse myself on item S as well as item W of the same block.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman.
Sam and whiskey.
We all
And we have some resolutions that have to be read. Dr. Kosa.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We have two resolutions to be, or three, I'm sorry, three resolutions to be voted on. Mr. Gorski, should I read each one separately and have a vote, or do you want me to read all three?
Separately, please, and a roll call.
Okay. The first resolution would be under personnel, and it is recommended that the board approve the appointment of Miss Alexa Tringali as a teacher of grade 1 at Oak Tree School on step 1 masters, $49,282 plus $3,450 $50, effective September 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Matt Cathy. So, you did second.
Oak tree? Can you, can you?
Roll call. Ms. Arminio.
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Braverman.
Yes.
Ms. DeMayo.
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman. Mrs. Kolpanowicz.
Yes.
Mr. Nostine.
Yes.
Mr. Ryback.
Yes.
Mr. Russo.
Yes.
Mr. Board President, motion passes.
Thank you. Another motion. Another
The
resolution.
next motion, under board action, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the suspension with pay of employee number 002115, retroactive to May 2nd, 2016 through May 3rd, 2016. The superintendent and the business administrator / board secretary are hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary steps to implement this action of the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
Right to the vote.
Ms. Arminio.
Yes.
Mr. Braverman.
Take your time.
Would you like us to come back to you, sir? Go through the rest of the roll and come back?
Is that, you said yes? Yes.
Votes yes? Okay. Ms. DeMayo?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman? Yes. Mrs. Koloponowicz?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
Mr. Ryback?
Yes.
Mr. Russo? Mr. Board President, motion passes.
Okay. One more.
Yes, and the last one, Mr. President. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the suspension with pay of employee number 001711, retroactive to May 2nd, 2016 through May 3rd, 2016. The superintendent and the business administrator / board secretary are hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary steps to implement this action of the Board of Education.
So moved?
Second.
Ms. Arminio?
Yes.
Mr. Braverman?
Yes.
Ms. DeMayo?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman? Yes. Mrs. Koloponowicz?
Yes.
Mr. Nostine?
Yes.
Mr. Ryback?
Yes.
Mr. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Board President, motion passes.
Thank you. We're done with that. We're up to the public forum. I don't see anyone from the public. I assume there's no one, excuse me, there's no one here to ask any question. Next scheduled Board of Education meeting is May 18th at 7 o'clock, Monroe Township High School. Excuse me, do I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Ms. Calvin. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Thank you. Passes, we're adjourned.
8.